The king without a soul. The field trip was supposed to be easy. Ancient civilizations. A break from math. A chance to walk around instead of sitting in class. The museum was older than most buildings in the city. Dark stone walls, tall ceilings, and glass cases filled with relics that looked like they were still watching us. Our guide introduced himself as Mr. Harlan. He was calm, polite, the kind of guy who smiled without showing teeth. We saw clay tablets, rusted weapons, gold jewelry. Then we reached the final exhibit. The room felt colder. In the center sat a massive stone sarcophagus surrounded by velvet rope. The lights above it flickered faintly, buzzing like trapped flies. The plaque read, King Amun-Reth, the devourer of thousands. It said he wiped out entire cities, took pleasure in watching enemies beg. His priests believed his soul was too violent for the afterlife, so they sealed it separately. Inside the tomb was only his body. His soul, the plaque said, was bound beyond. Everyone laughed nervously. Spooky, someone whispered. The group moved on. I didn't. I don't know why. Something about the carved face on the lid, it didn't look peaceful. It looked angry, like it was straining. I stepped closer. The air felt thick, heavy, hard to breathe. I reached out. My fingers brushed the stone. It was warm. That's when the lid shifted. A grinding sound echoed through the chamber. Stone scraping stone. The lid slid open just enough to reveal darkness inside. No body, just blackness. A cold wind rushed out and hit my face. I swear I heard a whisper, not words, just breathe. Panicking, I shoved the lid back into place. It slammed shut. The room felt different, like something had been unplugged, or plugged in. I ran back to the group. Lunch. We sat in the museum cafeteria, laughing, trading chips. But something was off. I went to throw my trash away when I heard two staff members whispering near the kitchen doors. Security can't find him. He was on break. He never left the building. One of them looked pale. I ignored it. Probably just someone skipping work. Right. The second worker. We were walking through the Egyptian wing when we saw him. Another museum worker. He was sitting on a bench, hands folded neatly in his lap. Eyes open, staring forward, not blinking. Our guide approached him. Sir. No response. He leaned closer. The worker's skin looked gray, dry, like parchment. Then I noticed something horrifying. His chest wasn't moving. He wasn't breathing. Our guide grabbed his walkie-talkie. Control, what's happening in the West Wing? Static. Only static. The fluorescent lights above us flickered, buzzed, dimmed. A girl in our class started crying. That's when I said it. I touched the tomb. The lid slid off. The guide froze. What? I covered it back up. His face drained of color. That's not possible. We stared at him. He swallowed hard. If the lid came off, even for a second. He looked toward the hallway behind us. Then the king's soul is free. We didn't understand. He spoke quickly now. The priest separated his soul because it devoured life. It moves unseen. It takes one person at a time. When it drains them, it returns to the body. Returns. Someone whispered. The body becomes active once the soul is fed enough. The lights went out. Total darkness. And then we heard it. Dragging. Slow. Heavy. Cloth scraping against tile. coming from the direction of the tomb room. The first scream. A boy at the back of our group gasped. Something invisible grabbed him. We couldn't see it, but his body lifted off the ground. His mouth opened wide. No sound came out. His skin shriveled before our eyes, like time was fast-forwarding. Then he dropped. A dried husk. The girl screamed. The guide shouted, "Run!" We bolted down the hallway. Behind us, the dragging sound grew louder. Faster, like something wrapped in ancient cloth was learning how to walk again. The tomb room. We shouldn't have gone back, but the guide did. He shoved open the door to the tomb chamber. The sarcophagus lid was cracked open again, wider this time. Inside, a shape was forming, a body wrapped in yellow bandages. Its fingers twitched. The guide grabbed a ceremonial torch from the wall, part of the exhibit. He lit it with shaking hands. "Fire-purified burial curses," he muttered. Another scream echoed behind us. Another classmate collapsed in the hallway. Drained. The mummy's eyes snapped open. Black. Empty. It rose stiffly from the tomb. Each movement cracked like dry wood snapping. The air filled with the smell of dust and rot. It stepped out. The dragging sound stopped. Now it walked. Slow. Deliberate. It raised one hand toward us. The guide threw the torch. Flames caught the bandages instantly. The mummy shrieked, a sound like 1,000 whispers screaming at once. The fire spread fast, but before it fell, a dark mist shot from its mouth and lunged toward the guide. It slammed into his chest. He froze. His eyes turned black. He looked at us and smiled. "Run," he said calmly. Then he walked into the flames with the burning body. The mummy collapsed. The fire alarms finally kicked. Sprinklers drenched the room. The mist screamed one last time before vanishing into smoke. Aftermath. Out of our entire class, only 2 of us survived. Me and a girl named Hannah. They said it was a gas leak. Mass hysteria. Structural collapse. They sealed that wing permanently. But here's the thing. 3 days later, I saw something on the news. A security guard at the museum, found sitting still, hands folded, eyes open, skin dry, like parchment. And when the camera zoomed in, for just a second, his eyes looked black, like something was still hungry.